How's it going, everybody? My name is Ged. Welcome back to Fabulous Flix. I am super excited to be able to bring you another quick unboxing. You probably won't see a product review on this one. There's a specific reason why, and I will get to that. So, for those of you that have watched the Emotiva T2 Plus and C2 Plus unboxing and review I did, thank you so much. The videos are doing great at this time. You know, the review has 2,500 views and the unboxing's got about 1,500. I cannot thank you enough for your support. However, there was a bit of a problem. And the problem was that I had moved my front height speakers, which I have been running for a while. They are my trusty Klpisch RP-140s, and they've been great. However, when I moved them to my front soundstage and put them directly up into the window, I realize that there are times where you are getting vocals. And I know in a perfect world, every speaker is going to match, but it is a very, very well-known fact that you need your front soundstage to match. So with that, I went on a hunt. Luckily, Emotiva does make the Emotiva A1. So this is what we're here to unbox today. We're going to look at it. We're going to see how it packs. They were a little busy, so it was a little bit delayed. But it arrived here nice and safely through DHL. Customs Canadian, I think, was 61 bucks. And these things retail for $2.99 US. I mean, that's a steal. When I got my Klpisch a few years ago, I think they were like $700. So the market has come a long way. So let's have a look at it. All right. So first things first, Emotiva, always rocking it with the manual and the instructions. Interesting inside here is it looks like there's plates. Now these are wall mountable. I can see the feet, but there's definitely some plastic here. I'm going to have a look at that in a moment. Our grills, pretty straightforward. They're magnets, just like the C2 Plus and the T2 Plus. We're going to leave that over here. Emotiva, I got to give credit where credit is due. You guys do not cheap out on packing. These things are packed in here. If you saw the C2 Plus and the T2 Plus video, they make sure that there's no way these things are getting damaged. So like always, we're going to throw that away for Stacy to clean up afterwards. We are going to take these out. Hopefully, oh, something moved. Same kind of black cloths. Let's put these down here. All right, that's it. Bottom styrofoamies. Kids don't eat this. Pretty sure it's bad for you. All right, so something kind of moved when I opened it. And here we have a big-ass, goofy-looking grill. I'm going to assume that we have another big-ass, goofy-looking grill on the other one. So yeah, so you get two grills when you buy these. You get this monstrosity of a grill, and you get this thin grill. And there is a specific reason for it. Doesn't really matter, but I don't know. If you call Emotiva, I'm sure they'll give you a long-winded reason as to why it matters. But these speakers are meant for one of two places. They can sit on your speakers as what's called a reflection speaker. And for that, they recommend you use these monstrous grills. And there is also a knob, which you will see, I'm going to show you right now, that specifically has an option for you to run it as a wall mount or a reflection speaker. Why is this important? Well, when you run it as a reflection speaker and you put it on top of your speaker, it needs more energy to bounce off that ceiling. So when you flip it to reflection, it's actually going to boost it 3 decibels. So whatever you set your system up to, it's going to give it that little bit of extra oomph so that it'll bounce off the ceiling and you'll be able to enjoy those Atmos highs. Now in my case, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with these. The dog is probably going to end up chewing them or making sweet yet violent love to it at some point. So I'm going to use the normal grills. Now, the one thing I did notice, and here's my caveat, is that I did open these before, is they actually have taps on the back, if you can see that, where those plates that came in the actual manual piece itself can be mounted on. Now, Emotiva, I love your product. I love so much about it. I'll talk about these in a moment. But why on God's green earth do you only give the smallest brackets known to man? Luckily, we have a wonderful friend who could Dremel this out and open it up, or else I would be sending an email or making a call back to Tennessee from Guelph, Ontario, wondering if there's other options available. So to this unnamed friend, thank you so much for your help. So let's go back to why I purchased these. These are a 4-ohm speaker, the same way the C2 Pluses, the T2 Pluses are. They have an 85 decibel impedance, so they're not the most efficient speaker in the world. Why is that important? Well, because if you're not going to run these off an amplifier, you would rather run something like a Klpisch. These Klpisch speakers are, I believe they're close to 100 decibels of impedance. You can run this with virtually no power at all. The problem is the horn tweeter will not match the sound coming out of my fronts. And because it's part of my front sound stage, these can now go to somebody else who is going to love them. So why did I pick these up? Airmotiv's 32 millimeter ribbon tweeter. My experience with this in the T2 Pluses and the C2 Pluses has been incredible. It is light, it is airy, it opens up, it sounds grossly neutral, but theatrically so dynamic. I love it. It's got the 4-inch driver for your mid bass, which is, I believe there's a 4-inch driver in the smaller portion for the center. Obviously, the big T2 Pluses have bigger drivers. So it is definitely smaller of a footprint. However, it is super important to be able to timbre match them so that when I speak, it sounds the same coming out of all of those speakers out of the front. Things I love. I love the driver. I love the Airmotiv Air Ribbon tweeter. I think it's fantastic. I love the button here for reflection versus wall mount. It's kind of nice. I can set it up. Things I didn't love. Guys, give a couple options with these brackets. I mean, we're not talking end of the world stuff here. I love the fact that you did give little tap points in the actual speaker itself so they could be mounted in the same spot. So the reason why you're probably not going to see a review, these are height speakers. I'm not really sure how you would ever do a review of height speakers other than me sitting down going, ooh, it sounds airy and crisp, and my audibly tuned ear can hear the difference. I may never hear the difference, but here's the thing. If I didn't match this and I stuck with the old ones, every time we were watching a movie, I'd be sitting in the corner shaking my head, and Stacy would eventually go nuts and just order these speakers for me anyway. So I appreciate the tolerance. Really looking forward to putting these up. For all of you that have watched, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed watching me fumble over these and enjoy it and unbox them. If you haven't taken a chance on Emotiva speakers, guys, I really do recommend it. I love listening to music. I love watching movies. They are beautifully neutral from a sound perspective, and they are so theatrically dynamic. The one caveat with these speakers is if you are running an AVR, a receiver, just the receiver, and it's an 8-ohm receiver, do not run these speakers. They are a 4-ohm speaker, which means you need power to drive these. I'll be powering these as well as the rest of the front sound stage. So my fronts, my center, and these off an XPA5 Gen 1, which I realize is probably a little bit of overkill, but I know it's really going to open these up. So if you have separate amplifiers, there is no better value right now in the home theater market. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it. If you want to make fun of me for fumbling over this and give me a thumbs down, It's totally okay. I promise you won't hurt my feelings. So until next time, enjoy some incredible movie viewing. Cheers.